there's a kind of leadership that I think we need, that I have some worries about whether we will. And my worry stems from what I see on the medical side of this crisis is a sort of misapplication of the notion of science and being scientific. So everybody's saying we've got to be scientific, we've got to be scientific. But there are limits to that, right? The father of all science pointed this out 2,500 years ago, Aristotle, which said essentially science is for the part of the world where things cannot be other than they are, right? So you analyze the past to come up with a scientific prediction about the future. But as Aristotle and others since have pointed out, when you're creating the future, that is not an option, right? So as Charles Sanders Peirce said, no new idea in the history of the world has been proven in advance scientifically, right? So what's required when you're trying to bend the curve, right, is you have to try new things, different things. That's what will be what we'll have to do with the economy, right? Is we're going to have to do all sorts of new experiments where we do not have kind of scientific evidence that it works. And what I've seen playing out on the medical side is when anybody doesn't like what somebody is trying, they say, well, you don't have scientific proof. There won't be scientific proof for anything we try on restarting the economy. Why? Because it's a unique situation. We don't have lots of proof of what works. And so my hope for leadership is leadership that will say, we've got to try things. We have to have principles, like Sarah's principle, people first, economy second. So principles, yes, but we've got to try things, recognize that we will fail on some things and try a lot of things, because if we depend on one big thing, because we think we have scientific evidence, we don't. And if everything that politicians do is attacked as you don't have proof that will work, then we're just going to be frozen and we're going to be stuck. And that, I think, is the fear. And we need leaders who can say this. And I was actually just on a call with my friend who runs Lego, and he was saying the Danish prime minister has come out and said exactly that, which is great leadership, which is, we're going to have to try a bunch of things. We're going to make a bunch of mistakes. That's just the way it is. But we're dedicated to trying. When we make mistakes, fix them as fast as we can. That is, I think, the kind of leadership we need on the economic side of the house.